This is the Finding Domain and Range from a Graph video. The domain of a relation is all the input values or the x values. So we've been doing domain in lists of numbers like so. And the domain would have been the x's, 1, 3, and 5. We've also done them from tables. Okay, so then our domain from this table would have been 1 and 3. Again, just the x's. We've also done mappings. Okay, and in this mapping, the domain would have been all the x values, which would have been 1, 2, and 3, all of the numbers from this bubble. Okay, so we're going to use that same idea when talking about a graph. On a graph, the x values are anything going left and right here. Okay, so that's going to tell us our domain when looking at a graph. It's still going to be the x values. The range of a relation is all the output values or the y values. So again, when looking at ordered pairs, these were the y values instead of the x values. So this would have been 2, 4, and 6 would have been the y values. In a table, the y values would have been the y column, which in this table would have been 3 and 4. And in a mapping, in this particular mapping, the y values would have been 4, 5, and 6. So the domain are the x values, the range are the y values. So when we go on a graph and look, the y values are going to be everything going up and down. Okay, it's still going to be the y values, but we're going to be looking at the picture instead of the list of numbers. So the domain of the graph is the x value, just like it was when we were talking about tables and lists. Okay, so the x is how far left and right this graph goes. So if you start here on the left of this line, and how far right does the line go? So the line starts here at -5, and it goes to here, +5. That's how far left and right the graph goes. Starts at -5, and it goes to +5. Okay, now when picking your inequalities, just like with normal inequalities, closed circles give you the equal to symbol, less than or equal to. Open circles give you just the less than symbol without the equal sign with it. Okay, so the domain is the x values, and it's how far left and right your graph goes. Okay, it's like the length of the graph from left to right. Okay, the range is going to give you your y values, which is going to tell you how tall up or down the graph is. Okay, so we're going to start at the lowest point here, how low the graph is, to the tallest point, which is up here. Okay, so the lowest point is down here at -5, and the tallest point is up here at +5. That's how tall the graph is. The lowest point's -5, the tallest point's +5. Again, an open circle would give you the less than symbol. The closed circle here would give you the less than and equal to symbol. Okay, so the range, or the y value, is how tall the graph is, how far up and down it goes. Okay, the domain is still the x value, the range is still the y value, but visually x goes left and right, and visually the y's go up and down. Alright, the domain of the graph. Again, the domain is left and right. Okay, so this graph has arrows on it saying that it is going to go left and right forever and ever. So it's going to go left forever and it's going to go right forever. So left forever would be -infinity, and right forever would be positive infinity. So it's going to go negative forever and positive forever. Okay? The range of the graph is going to be how far up and down it goes. Okay? So we start at the lowest point, which is down here. This is how low the graph is. Okay? And then how high the graph goes. This graph has arrows going up, so it goes left and right forever. It's also going to go up forever. Okay? So it's going to be the Y here in the middle. Sorry, that's kind of cut off. It is going to go up forever, so that'll be infinity. But it does actually have a low point, minimum. Okay? The lowest point on this graph is at -5. Okay? And that should have an equal to sign on it because that is a regular dot part of the graph. Okay? So when you look at this, when you read the domain, looking at the domain here, I can go read this, and it says left forever, right forever. So that would tell you the graph is going left and right forever. It's going to keep getting fatter and fatter and fatter forever. Okay? And then when you look at the range is going to tell you that this graph starts at -5 and goes up forever, which is what the picture says. Okay? So your x's is your domain, left and right. Your range is your y's, up and down. All right. What's the domain of the graph? Okay, so again, that's left and right. If you look, this graph starts right here at the origin, and then it goes right forever. Okay, so the graph goes left to 0, okay, and that does have an equal to sign on it because it's part of the graph. Then these arrows mean it's going to go right forever. Well, forever in math isn't the infinity symbol. Okay? The range is up and down. So if you look at this graph, it doesn't really necessarily look this way, but these arrows mean it's going to go right forever, but it's actually going to continue to get fatter and fatter and taller and taller and taller and taller and taller forever. So it is actually going to go up and down forever. Even though it just looks more like it's going to the right, it actually is getting taller. So it's going to go down forever and up forever. Okay, it is actually going to go from negative infinity to infinity.